NBA fans, y'all know it, all right? I'm sure your franchise has been here a time or two before. The worst place to be is stuck in the middle. That is the purgatory you want to avoid at all costs. And my boy, my brother, the Chicago Bulls might just be caught in that spot.
Yeah, bro. Too bad to win, too good to lose. You hate to see it. The Chicago Bulls have made some moves this last season, these last two seasons, right, to set themselves up to be very competitive. How competitive? At the beginning of last season, hey, my hopes, my expectations were through the roof. We were number one in the East, at least top two, top three. I mean, I felt like it was 2012 watching Derrick Rose go to work. You know what I'm saying? So the Chicago Bulls have improved their chances of winning a championship greatly in the last two seasons. However, their chances overall to win a championship are not that high. You go from 2 to 15%. I mean, I don't know if you're looking too good. You know what I mean? Some people might not even give it to them like that. Regardless, if you're in the playoffs, you're not going to have high seeding in the lottery or in the draft. So it kind of, like you mentioned, puts yourself in the worst predicament to be in. Smack dab in the middle.
That's all facts, bro. And for a team that just 365 days ago could do no wrong, you're winning every game. DeMar DeRozan is Michael Jordan, as you like to say. Things have changed drastically and rather quick, my boy, because you got Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland, DeJounte Murray to Atlanta, Kevin Durant and Kyrie back to Brooklyn. And those are three teams that finished behind the Chicago Bulls in the Eastern Conference last year, all getting drastically better. So I know you guaranteed a top 5 seed. That's even looking hazy at this point.
Hey man, you made your point, but I still have faith in my Bulls. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're an 8 seed. I don't think we're a fringe playoff team. But at the same time, it's crazy how just a year later how things can change. Regardless of all of that, the Bulls find themselves in a very, very tricky predicament. They kind of went in with this win now mentality. And it shows, you know what I mean? They were able to improve their record by a lot, but regular season games don't mean nothing when it comes to a championship.
Yeah, let's just talk about this tricky predicament a little bit more. We just talked about how they look stacked up against the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference, but you start to think about how they could possibly get better, and you start scratching your head looking for ways to make that happen because they got no young talent outside of an injury-prone Lonzo Ball, injury-prone Patrick Williams, and some guys that are ceilings as role players. They got no draft capital without a tradable first round pick until 2027.
Yeah.
Man, that is not a recipe for success on the trade market.
Not at all. Not at all. And they basically completely gave up on building for the future, right? Which was obvious in last season's moves. You know what I mean? They gave up all of their picks. Their focus, like you said earlier, shifted to now. You saw this when the Bulls brought in DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. You know, DeMar DeRozan couldn't have had a better first season with the Chicago Bulls until, you know, injuries and things slowed down for him. But Vucevic, man, is looking like a shell of his former self. He was the number one option on a horrible Orlando Magic team. We didn't expect him to put up 26 and 13 with the Chicago Bulls, but we at least expected this guy to put up a hefty, you know what I'm saying, hefty, double-double, you know what I mean? At least give us 15 and 10. We thought he was good for it, which obviously he showed he wasn't. You know, he went very quiet at times. So we find ourselves in this really tough spot, man, and the only way out for it is if you make a move with Vooch or maybe make a move with DeMar DeRozan and try to, you know, swindle a team or these guys just all play insane, you know?
Facts, but I don't blame Reisendorf and your front office for putting you in this situation because you guys needed to do something. You're the Chicago Bulls. You're not supposed to be a meddling franchise just scraping it by or being in the lottery every year.
Facts.
Lonzo was a good deal. That was a good signing. It's just
that was the best
that
signing. And I'm gonna say this, right? The Lonzo Ball and the Caruso deals, we robbed whoever we got. We robbed the Lakers and we robbed the Pelicans, right? But we had already overpaid for Vooch and DeMar, and you know, at that point, I would rather be where we are now than where we were 3 seasons ago with Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr. at the helm.
Facts.
You know?
I think that's wise of you, and I think that's a part of what the Bulls were thinking. But let me just finish giving flowers before I throw some dirt on you guys. As much as DeMar was the story of the season, right? Especially that crazy first half. He was doing things that no one other than 2-3 has done in a Bulls jersey. Lonzo was really the catalyst for that first half, and he hurt you guys a lot. I mean, his disruptive defense, the playmaking, he was everything you guys needed to make Levine, DeRozan, and Vooch function at its highest possibility.
And don't forget to mention, without cutting you off, this guy was able to boost his 3-point percentage through the roof as well, which helped tremendously.
27 and 13 with him on, 19 and 23 without. I don't think I need to say anything more, bro. But the whole injury thing was kind of weird with Lonzo, though. Like, it was just, all right, he bumped his knee up. He's going to be out a little while. Then that turned into, okay, wait, he needs surgery, 6 to 8 weeks. Then that turned into, all right, he's starting to run and progress. He'll be back for the playoffs. And then that turned into, he's out for the season.
Yeah.
And then that turned out to, okay, he's not even going to be ready for this regular season. And I think what happened there, whenever you hear something like that, sounds like a case of rush back too soon, right? I think it was a meniscus tear.
Yeah, and that puts us in a tough spot because, as you mentioned before, his impact on the court is tremendous, So say all that to say this, man, we can't rely on him for right now. You know what I mean? You had made a point in the earlier pod. You had said, don't tell me now when he's out. Tell me when he's in. That's what we need to know. And that's how the Bulls need to move for right now. We have not seen the Bulls at their best. The question here is their best good enough, right? And before we get into that, Ty, let's talk about two things, right? What is your absolute ceiling for these Chicago Bulls, and what's your floor? Absolute ground floor, basement, put them underneath the ground, like, what are your thoughts?
Before that, we just want to take a quick second to ask you guys to like and subscribe, especially if you're enjoying this video. Turn on post notifications. We got you. Bunch of great content coming over here from the Hoop Plug. Yes, sir. The ceiling for me, you're not going to like to hear this. It's the second round exit. All right? You guys are definitely capable of doing what y'all did the first half of last year and getting a top 5 seed. But you didn't think I was going to go that high, that low?
No. I just love how you only gave me top 5. You're like,
top 5 seed. But honestly, I think the more realistic scenario is you're dropping in that 6 to 9 range. And I just looking at how stacked this Eastern Conference is, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Raptors, I'm not sure about. But the Nets for sure, the Cavs, the Hawks, I think they're a little bit better than you guys right now. And I know I sound like a hater, but damn it, that's the way I feel.
That's all right, bro. We all allowed to have opinions in this world. But with that being said, you already know what a Bull does to a Hawk, man. We destroy them things. Raptor, I ain't even worried about a Raptor. What even is a Cavalier? Think about it. I don't know. You know what I mean? We gonna give it to the Nets. You know what I'm saying? We gonna give it to Giannis and the Bucks. The Bucks and the Bulls might put on a good show. You know what I mean? But all jokes aside, though, that is a very valid and very high ceiling. For me, I honestly, as a Bulls fan, do not see us going past the second round. Unless we go on some sort of 2020 bubble Jimmy Butler Miami Heat run. Absolute ground floor is us getting out of the play-in. That is like the worst possible case scenario. And we've seen injuries can really change somebody's season. And this is the thing, that all it takes is one. What about you? What are your thoughts on the bottom basement level, ground floor, I should say?
I think the floor is the lottery, bro. For us, there's something I wanted to tell you, right? I'm going to say it and run this by you now, but I think the Bulls are a lot closer to blowing it up than you think. If they don't take a step forward this season, I guarantee the Chicago front office is having conversations about it. Like, they have no flexibility with the draft assets. We touched on that. So to create that flexibility, they got to do it other ways, and that's through player movement. Vucevic is going to be on an expiring deal this year, with DeMar set to hit free agency the year after. And they had the opportunity right now to go all in, right? You could say they already went all in. They got Vooch, they got Lonzo, but they had a chance to keep going and get into that luxury tax this offseason. And instead, they avoided the luxury tax, making moves around the margins. Hello, Drummond. Hello, Dragic. Well, you guys are not small market Sacramento, and I don't understand why the Chicago Bulls, for more years than not, even when they had Michael Jordan, they wanted to blow that up. Why do you guys act like this? I don't know, and I know it's not your fault. It's not Bulls fans' fault, but it bothers me that one of the cornerstone franchises is acting like the Pelicans. I don't understand it, bro.
Yeah, it's Jerry Reisendorf. I mean, we've known him for a very long time, and he's very much a pocket pincher, a penny pincher, I should say. It sucks, you know what I mean? It very much so sucks. We really could have done something, and I'm not surprised if we blow it up. I think this was more so an experiment, but really and truly, for them to blow it up, I think they'd have to have 2 average seasons. Not good and not bad. I think if they have a good season, like you mentioned, they step it up a notch. No doubt they're going to try and continue this experiment. But if they have a season so bad where it gets into the lottery, well, I almost want to stop myself because they have no flexibility. They've given away all their first round picks, right? So I don't even know if they have lottery protections on those picks. We talked about ceilings, we talked about ground floors, we talked about them just being absolutely middle of the pack, right? But I want to talk about some things that I think the Bulls can do to actually compete for a championship. We have not seen them at their best for a whole season. We've seen them in strides, you know what I mean? Loss here, a couple wins there, 10 wins there, enough losses to match that. So I say all that to say this, man. This season is going to be a proving ground. And I think for that to happen, it needs to start and be building around Zach LaVine. I mean, DeMar DeRozan is the more experienced of the 2 All-Stars, but he wasn't brought here to be the number 1 guy. He was brought here to give you some assistance, Zach. And you've gone quiet at times. You've relied on Big Bro to, lead the way. And Zach, that's not what you're here for. You're here to be the star of the show. You're young. You're supposed to be the MVP of this team. The Bulls look at you as a future MVP of the league, and I might be selling him high here, but that's what they've built here. They've built a team around you,
I could not agree more, bro. They are only going to go as far as Zach LaVine takes them. And DeMar is going to run with that baton if you let him. Zach, you need to take it. You really do, bro. You can't wait around for it.
Facts. So for me, that's Zach LaVine playing crazy and doing what we know he can do. For me, Zach LaVine's got to average 28, 29, damn near close to 30 points a game, if not 30 points a game, if we really want to see this Bulls team take a step. We need to see DeMar near the mid-20s, 23 to 25 points a game. Vucevic has got to step it up. He's got to give us a double-double. He's got to give us at least 15 and 10. You have Lonzo, who needs to average a double-double with assists. He needs to be at least 8 or 9, at least 10 assists a game for this team to really reach its full potential. I know it sounds like a lot, like, whoa, you want everybody to just be, superhuman for a season? Yeah, But these are things that we know these guys can do. I'm not asking Lonzo to average 25 and 10. I'm asking Lonzo to average 11 and 10, 11 and 9, 15 and 9, I'd be content.
And I think everything you said is realistic, bro. But the hardest one for me to see happen is unfortunately the most important one. And that's Zach LaVine going for 28, 30. And be honest, he's doing that. 1, they're a top 2 seed. And 2, he's in the MVP race.
100%.
That's going to be hard for me to see. And I want it. I think he's capable. But does he have the mentality needed?
It's that part of it. And I think Zach LaVine can do it, which you're not saying he can't. It's just hard to see. And I'm in agreement with you. Unless something changes, unless he flicks the switch and he takes that baton from DeMar. We've known DeMar has had to fight for everything, right? My boy, Compton's finest, you know what I'm saying? By the way, one of the best, if not the best shoe collection in the world. Like, DeMar DeRozan is up there with the PJ Tuckers of the world. Just for the fans, if they didn't know that. But with all that being said, that doesn't exactly translate to the court. But he has been playing like the number 1, the alpha for the team. So if Zach LaVine can take that and do these things, I mean, if he can even get close to this or even do 26, 27 with high efficiency, which not too long ago he was averaging 25 points a game, or at least during that run he was. So
when it was a solo show. But yeah.
You know what I mean. But I say all that to say this. You have Caruso, who we know what he's going to give you, and he can keep that up. That's all you want from him. Pat Williams, and this is going to be the difference maker. He's got to be a top 25 defender in the league. It's not far-fetched. He might be sitting somewhere when he was healthy, somewhere in the top 40, top 50. He was up there. But that next 25 guys, that's a big jump. You're damn near an all-NBA defensive player. That's the one that I really don't know if I can expect from this young second-year, maybe third-year player in Pat Williams.
And you're looking for them to take steps. But if we're really talking about what this Bulls team needs to do for a championship, this is going to sound crazy, bro. But what I think they need to do is they need to trade Zach LaVine. And it's selling your future more than they already have, more than all the bigs that they already sent out. You're probably going to put one more in this deal. 2027, bye-bye. Because I'm trading LaVine a first, and I'm trying to get Kevin Durant from Brooklyn. If you're at a point where Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, you still can't tell which is your better player, not for the future, but for 2022, 2023, you can go all in, Reisendorf. You don't have to pay for another 4 years of luxury tax because you can do it all right now. One shot, one kill is the deal.
Facts.
Get Kevin Durant, especially if they're not playing it up to par. He's still going to want out. For 1 year, you think Kevin Durant wouldn't like that legacy play? Winning in Michael Jordan's colors and actually being the man to do it?
And having a good enough
Lonzo,
team around him.
Yes, the team that would work seamlessly.
Man, Ty, you just made me want to get rid of Zach LaVine. But no, as crazy as it does sound off rip, it would benefit them because right now, Zach LaVine, if he, with this team and this role and the leadership that they've given him, he's not able to do it. We kind of know where his ceiling stands. So get what you can while his value is high. If that means KD in a first, shit. I mean, like, you could throw some other guys in there. Bye-bye Drummond if they just got rid of him. You know what I mean? So
take him back.
So now that's a beautiful scenario. But I think that if these guys can perform to that level, a championship doesn't sound as crazy as it does right now. However, what does it take for everybody to have their Iron Man season? It's not likely. It's not likely, especially with Lonzo starting off the bench. You're not really going to be able to build any chemistry like that. And plus, man, he's the engine that keeps them going.
Yeah.
So
we can't stress that enough.
For real. And he's so underrated, man. The Bulls posted some highlights of his passing last year. And, dude, Lonzo is such a great passer, especially in the alley-oop situations on the fast break, bro. So effortless, man. He makes it seem like it's easy, but then you see some of these other guys trying to throw those same passes, and boy, do they've embarrassed themselves. So shouts out to Lonzo, man, and the Bulls, they're just in a tough spot. I love them. You know what I mean? This isn't the 2010, 2011, or 2011-12 Bulls, but I still love them. Still love them. Still got to support them. But championship, I don't think right now is in their near future.
And that's okay. I mean, they're on the path. They got Zach LaVine locked up for 5 years. Lonzo on a long-term deal, too. That can be the core, especially if they stay healthy. This is not going to be their only crack. So even if the Vucevic, DeRozan, LaVine Bulls do not work, doesn't mean the Lonzo, LaVine, and X guys can't. You know what I'm saying? They are on the right side of this. They just got to open up that wallet, bro. Stop playing.
Because you already know when you're playing, you only playing yourself.
Couldn't think of a better ending for that. For us, any final thoughts before we shut this down?
No. As always, well, yes. But no, but yes. As always, you already know, guys, it's the hoop plug. You know what it is. Pussy flavor.